sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for always supporting TD Fins Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Right now, I want to give you all the opportunity to join the TD Fins Talk Discord server. Yes, we have our own Discord server now. That way, you'll always have access to our Miami Dolphins community. That way, if you're not getting notifications for videos or you want to know what's going on or the latest or just chat Miami Dolphins football, you can download the app and make sure that you sign up for TD Fins Talk Discord. The link is in the description of the video. Make sure you check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Again, let's enjoy the server and let's use it responsibly. Fins up no matter what. Peace. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fins Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Listen, I'm just kicking back, relaxing right now. I ain't cammed up because I ain't in my normal studio situation, but I'm actually putting everything together, still moving in. But I decided to do this stream tonight because I actually wanted to just hang out with you guys and kick back and relax for a little bit. I don't put my little seat down, sitting back, got my mic up to me, and I wanted to do some Q&A, but I wanted to talk about some things first, especially with this Waddle news, and then answer some of these questions, man. Answer questions from if you want to know my thoughts on any and everything, I want to be able to answer those for you. All right. So without further ado, just want you to know this stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video. Take advantage of that opportunity. Let me see here. Let me put that back. All right, yes, take advantage of the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you hit the like button. What up, Chef Jew? Oh man, listen, man. Tomorrow we got Denver, baby. We got Denver. The time is now. This is a must win for the Miami Dolphins. I mean, the Miami Dolphin fans, we're on a high right now. We're 2-0, but we've seen this story before. There ain't really much that can impress me until we're in the Super Bowl, to be quite honest with you. But at this point, I still always love and enjoy the journey of trying to reach that pinnacle. Right now, I'm just in a situation where I want to see us continue to play great football and not get injured and hurt. Unfortunately, Waddle did not clear concussion protocol, so he's still in the protocol. He's on the final stages of the protocol, so he'll probably clear Monday, if not tomorrow. Yeah, he'll probably clear tomorrow or Monday. Then we'll have him next week. Um, I haven't heard anything yet, but I'm interested. I'm trying to figure out if we're gonna be with or without Jaylen Phillips. Has anybody else heard anything? Let me know in the comment section. Um, has anybody heard anything about Jaylen Phillips? Because I'm starting to feel like I don't know if he's gonna play or not because we just elevated a linebacker um onto the active roster, and I don't know if that means that um I'm not sure. Somebody said Phillips playing. He said it. Okay, I hope so. Okay. Jaylen Phillips was full participant in practice. Okay, cool. Because I really hadn't been paying attention to the news because I've been still finishing up unpacking boxes and stuff at our new place. So that's good to know. Thank y'all so much. Um, Now this Waddle not being there, it's a huge concern to me. Personally, I think Dolphin fans need to stop the cap. I mean, not having Waddle is a huge blow. Can we survive without him? We can win games, yeah. We can definitely win games, but it's a huge blow. What a lot of y'all don't realize is that every week teams are double teaming or triple teaming and bracketing Tyreek, and then they're playing Waddle press, usually press, and then adding help side defense. That's kind of like double teaming Tyreek and kind of double teaming Waddle. And then, playing, having all the other positions play man, and in some cases leave the other positions wide open. With the 4-man rush. The difference now is that I think Denver might man up a little more in this game. Because now all you have to do is take Tyreek out of the game and play the rest of the receivers one-on-one. Now, can those guys still make plays and beat guys? Yeah. But when people say, oh, these guys been making plays when the ball goes their way, it's easy to do that when you have all the attention drawn to Tyreek and Waddle. Now that you only got the one weapon in Tyreek, it's going to be interesting to see how Denver plays this whole thing. They did bring Roby Chosen back, whatever his name is. But again, ladies and gentlemen, it's not Jaylen Waddle. It's not Jaylen Waddle, okay? It's going to be interesting. I want to see how this game goes. Above all, we just want to see Tua continue to play at a high level on a consistent basis. Week 1, Tua absolutely took advantage of what the defense gave him and balled out doing so. Week 2, he took advantage of what the defense gave him for the most part. I ain't going to say he balled out, but he played well enough to help us get the victory. This week, I'm a little more concerned. And it's not because it's Denver. It's because I don't want any surprises. I'm going to tell y'all now, if we lose this Denver game, we will lose the Buffalo game. There won't be a bounce back. That's why I want to win this game, because I know that momentum will take us into Buffalo and we'll win 4-0. We're either going to be 2-2 or 4-0 8 days from now. I truly believe it. We are going to end up 2-2 or 4-0 8 days from now. I don't want this to be Russell Wilson's breakout game, but I also understand Vic Fangio, bend but don't break. What I do like, though, that even though we are a zone team, is that we do run a fair amount of man coverage. I love that. We need to take care of business like the great teams do against the Denver Broncos, ladies and gentlemen. Derek said, TD, are you basing that prediction on last year's team? This team is different. We are going 13-3. For the life of me, why do y'all keep saying that this team is different? What's different about this team now? Why do y'all keep saying that? What's different? I'm interested in knowing. If anybody want to add some insight in the chat, please let me know what's different. Someone said the energy. The energy was higher, if you asked me, last year to start out, especially after the Baltimore game. What's different? The difference is Tua. What's different from Tua? He gave us games like he did this year, last year. I don't get what y'all talking about. Second year of the install? Is that what y'all saying is different? They operated it at a high level last year. I don't get it. When we were clicking, did we not execute it at a high level last year to where people was like, well, it doesn't matter that it's the first year. They hitting on all cylinders. Defense in the first year, that's actually a negative. The O-line is better. The O-line ain't better. They just getting the ball out their hand quicker, not exposing them. Do y'all know that we're ranked 19th in win rate in the NFL on the O-line? How can you be the team that gives up one of the least amount of pressures and the least amount of sacks and have the 19th ranked win rate? You would think we'd be top 3. Why? Because we get rid of the ball so fast that it doesn't expose how often our offensive linemen are losing their battles. That's something that opened my eyes this week when I saw the data. I said, our O-line is playing good, but that's casual talk. That's me not going to do my research. And then I want to look at some film, and the data that was presented definitely confirmed it. These guys are losing on the line almost every single play, but the ball is already gone. The ball is already out of the hand. And that's why people were asking that question. What happens when a team takes away the first read and then the O-line starts to get exposed because Tua doesn't have time to get rid of the ball quick? Somebody say I got to have more faith. This isn't lack of faith. I'm just speaking facts right now, what the data shows. This isn't negative talk. This is facts. These are facts. I'm not saying this to discredit us or anything. I want us to be great. I want us to win a Super Bowl, but I'm actually debunking these thought processes we have. And you know why I love debunking them is because here's why. And this ain't gonna happen. I don't think this is gonna happen at all. But here's why I like to make sure I keep people honest and understand what's really going on. Because if tomorrow Denver takes away the first read and our old line starts getting obliterated and Tua's getting hit everywhere, guess what we're all gonna do? They were playing so good for the first 2 weeks. I don't know what happened. Or you're gonna say, man, these receivers weren't getting open quick enough. We missed Waddle. Or we're gonna say, oh my gosh, the O-line is just trash, or McDaniel didn't scheme it right. When I already gave you the answer of what's going on. That's the only thing that confuses me about our fan base. Is like when we get so used to winning and we're doing certain things, and then I point out the flaws within it, and then when a team exposes those flaws, we act shocked. Like, how was that possible? I'm just giving factual information. I don't care either way. I'm just giving you the information. So, for those who don't understand that, let me repeat it one more time. It is a fact, not my opinion or my hate, that our offensive line is ranked 19th in win rate. We have one of the least amount of sacks and one of the least amount of pressures given up in the NFL. Those things don't go hand in hand. Something is wrong. And when you do your research, you realize the reason why we don't have, because being 19th ranked means you probably got a lot of pressures and sacks. But the reason why we don't is because we get the ball out quicker than anybody in the NFL. We hit our first read more than anybody in the NFL, which is not a bad thing. That is an excellent thing, because what it does, it hides our weaknesses. Somebody said 19th ain't too bad. No, it ain't. But what I'm saying is it don't add up to having one sack in one of the lowest pressures in the NFL. But what you also have to understand is, not win. What's the old lineman name? He's not a household favorite. I keep on forgetting his name with an L or something like that. Gosh, it's on my tongue. What's our offensive lineman name with an L? Oh my gosh, why am I sitting there? I know it's an L and I ain't his name won't come to my head. Lamb, yes. Do y'all know that Lamb and Connor has an excellent win rate? But for them to have such a, I mean, they're like in the top of their position in win rate in the NFL. Do y'all know that? But think about that. You have two players in the top of their position in win rate, and we're 19th. What do you think the other three are? What do you think? And this is pass protection, by the way. What do you think the other three are? It ain't Liam Eichenberg. Trust me, it's Kendall Lamb, whatever. It ain't Eichenberg, okay? It's Kendall. But what do you think the other three are if those two have an excellent win rate, some of the best in the league? If it wasn't for them, we'd probably be 28th or worse. I'll have to look up the numbers and show y'all. But all I'm saying to y'all is the reason why our O-line doesn't look bad at all, even though they have terrible win rate, many of them, is because the ball is already gone. I've seen Austin Jackson get put on his behind, but the ball is already gone. I've seen some horrible stuff happening in the offensive line position on film, but the ball is already gone. And the only question is, those few rare teams that take away the first read, it's no different from the past. It's no different from what Tennessee did a few years ago. It ain't no different from what Denver themselves did a few years ago. Remember, the book was take away the first read, send pressure. Y'all remember like Flores years? All you got to do is take away the first read and send pressure. And the teams that did that made us look horrible. Right now, that's the game plan, but no team has done it. So whoever put that in the comment section about the O-line is playing good this year, that's the difference. No, Mike McDaniel has done a phenomenal job scheming it up to where the first read is open majority of the time, to the point to where we hit our first read more than any team in the NFL at 81%, and we're executing it at a very high level. Very high level. And there was this big old Twitter debate when I said we aren't as good when we come off our first read. And what did they do? They went and found some data that said that when the Miami Dolphins come off of their first read, they are 8th in the NFL in EPA. So, TD, you're wrong. We're good after our first read. Our EPA is 8th in the NFL. And I say to those people, do you even know what an EPA is? EPA is expected. It's basically, to explain it to everybody, it's what the average play impact has on scoring. It's the average play impact on scoring. So you can bum up 5 plays, but as long as one of those plays you hit a 50-yarder, the EPA is excellent. You can screw up a second read 4 times, but if that 5th time is a huge play, the EPA is phenomenal. So again, it's going to be interesting when those teams come our way. And another reason why I show y'all this stuff is simply because I think at this point, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when a team plays us that way and how we look when they do play us that way. And then when we come to our film study the next day, nobody's shocked. We're just looking at the exact examples of what we've been talking about. And listen, when I point these things out about what other teams aren't doing, honestly, it's because I want to see a team actually do it so I can see if we finally can overcome it. I don't bring up what other teams not doing just to hate on us. I bring it up because I'm waiting on a team to do it, so that if we can break through and still kill them, now I know 100% without a shadow of a doubt this team winning a Super Bowl. This team gonna win a Super Bowl. What's one of the worst teams? What's one of the worst teams in the NFL right now? Y'all name it. Give me one of the worst that you know got a terrible defense, probably. Name one of the terrible teams that got a terrible defense in the league right now. Terrible defense. Name it. Put it in the comment section. All right, we'll go with the Texans since a lot of y'all naming that. So if they got a terrible defense, right? Now, who got the best? Let's just go with Dallas with Diggs. Diggs ain't hurt. Let's go Dallas with the unhurt Diggs, okay? If you play the Texans 16 times in a row, right? Don't you want to play the Cowboys to see how good you really are? Don't playing the Cowboys and still beating them give you all the assurance you need? You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to say. When I talk about what teams ain't doing to us, I'm just waiting to see a team that does it to us. And if we can figure out a way to break through and score and move the ball and win anyway, now I know that this team is 1,000% legit. It's all a test. You run up on different teams every week with defensive coordinators giving their version of figuring out how to stop us. And I tell y'all every week is based off of what we know now, there's only one way to stop us, but nobody's done it so far. And I'm waiting on that team to do that, because if we can break through anyway, then there ain't no question we're going to win a Super Bowl. No question. Y'all supposed to win, and you should. I agree. But tell me when the last season we had where the games we were supposed to win, we ain't lose one or two of them. Tell me a season that we didn't lose one or two games that we should have definitely have won. Give me the last season that happened. But this season different, like it was last year. That's why these guaranteed wins like Denver Broncos still make me nervous. I just think that this team is so special that, gosh, don't let us down. G Firm said that happens to every team, and that's not true. That's not true. It don't happen to every team. Not every team every season. Why are we special, TD? The reason why I personally, just me, okay? The reason why I think that we're special is because I feel like we have a special coach. I feel like we have a special coach. I feel like he's bringing innovative ways to make the game easy for his players, at least on offense. I feel like y'all don't understand. I have studied Tua per se so much in the last 5 years. I've studied him so much. And I'm telling y'all, we got a great coach, because this man rarely puts Tua in the position of the things to show the things that he's struggled with historically. This is in large part why a lot of people feel like there are no flaws now when we got just Tua at his peak form. McDaniel is doing a phenomenal job. And also, Tua's doing a phenomenal job following his direction. Right now, under McDaniel's system, there's only literally, well, at least with the defenses that play us the way they've been playing us, at least. But right now, under this system, there's only one thing Tua need to stop doing if he wants to be an MVP caliber player. Stop giving up that one dumb play a game. Stop just heaving it just because it's Tyreek and you expect him to make the play. Let's make see, but then see, this is what I be talking about. He need to stop that because it's catching him here and there, and we're not getting as many other 50-50s that we did last year. But then if you stop it, we're also going to miss out on the few that we do get. The few that Tyreek does go up and shock us all. And we need those in our offense. So it's a catch-22, man. I guess you just got to live with it. Just live with the fact that we might get one pick a game. Maybe, just maybe. TD McDummy was a genius for 8 games last year. I don't think that's fair. Like the McDummy piece, I know you're making a statement and saying he was a genius for 8 games, and obviously he was a dummy for the other 9. But I think that's a little harsh on him, and because I will admit I think about 3 to 4 games McDaniel didn't have the best decision making and play calling, one or the other or a combination last year. But I think it's very unfair to kind of put it that way because it's the first year of his install. You heard guys like Tyreek say he didn't really know all the plays, I guess. He was just running wild. You also, have to understand that it ain't fully the personnel that he wanted, especially as far as the O-line, and he had to go through some development of the guys. I just think, he did good enough of a job for the first year to bring the energy. Now, mind you, he has weapons. He has more than half of the coaches in the NFL at a minimum starting out last year. But I'm not knocking Mike McDaniel from nothing last year. I thought it was a success, if you ask me. When you really evaluate it, somebody said, TD, you flip-flopping. How am I flip-flopping? See, some of y'all truly don't understand me. I'm not flip-flopping on McDaniel because I know the things that I said last year. But that's only because y'all were trying to compare him to Flores, and I was showing y'all it ain't no difference. And I didn't think Flores did a bad job, especially with the offense with what he had. He didn't have no Armstead, no Connor Williams, no Tyreek Hill. He didn't have that. He didn't have a healthy Austin Jackson. Not that it would have helped. He didn't have that. It's just when y'all come to comparing him to Flores and y'all talk about all the things Flores didn't do, then I show you it's no different with McDaniel. Same record with more yards. That's all it is. Same record with more yards. So I'm not coming down on hard on Mike McDaniel. I thought that as a first-year coach, he did just fine. But y'all thinking I'm flip-flopping because I just made it relate to Flores. No. I didn't have a problem with what Flores did either. I thought that, man, listen, you can be a bad offensive coordinator. You have a Teron Armstead, Connor Williams, freaking Tyreek Hill combination with Waddle, and Waddle ain't got to be the number 1 guy. See, you got to understand, Flores didn't even have Waddle technically. When you make Waddle the number 1 guy, the attention all on him. But when you get a Tyreek going to do stuff even when the attention on him, and then you have a brand new Waddle. So, no, man. Man, y'all don't. This is what y'all saying to me. For all y'all who hate Flores, is this what you trying to say to me? Is that if Flores in his same system had Teron Armstead, Connor Williams, and Tyreek Hill, those guys wouldn't have been worth not even one more win on the season? Is that what you're telling me about Flores? Lie to yourself. Lie to yourself. G Firm said Flo had a stout defense. McDaniel did not. That's a lie, G Firm. Same personnel that I know. That's the knock on McDaniel. That's a knock on McDaniel. If Flo had a stout defense, it's the same personnel. It's the same personnel. It ain't like Flores didn't deal with the same injuries McDaniel had to deal with last year. Flores was not a head coach. Yeah, he was. His title said head coach. I'm not sure where you're getting that from. Our offense wouldn't click the same, to be honest with Flo. That ain't what I asked. I asked y'all, are y'all telling me with Connor Williams, Teron Armstead, and Tyreek Hill, they wouldn't have been worth one more win? Is that what you're telling me? I ain't asked you if it would have clicked the same. Is what you're telling me it wouldn't have been worth one more win on the season? Stop the cap. Stop the cap. They kept Flo's coaches on defense. Those weren't Mike guys. And Flores, then it's the same. You're missing the point, G Firm. It's the same defense. Same coaches, just no Flores. So why were they worse? I mean, you're making the point for me. It ain't got to be McDaniel's guys, but you should at least inherited the same defense, but they were worse. Armstead not even playing. What's your point, TD? Like I said, even if Flores could have got Armstead for 11 games, which he was last year, are you trying to tell me those collective guys, Tyreek, Armstead, and Connor, wouldn't have been worth at least one more win? See, I still ain't seen nobody answer the question. And you know why? Because you know the answer. You're just dancing around it. You're dancing around it. TD fans are cooking Flores haters right now. Man, they only hate Flores because of Tua. That's all it is anyway. That's the only reason they hate Flores, because he was not an advocate of Tua. It's that simple. That's all. Evidence shows Flores wasn't a good head coach. Hey, well, you got to give me the evidence. That's all I'm asking you for. Because every bit of evidence you give me, I probably can point to the same thing as Mike McDaniel. Flores couldn't get the offense moving, but McDaniel couldn't get the defense moving. However you want to look at it, to which they had to bring in another head coach and Vic Fangio to do. And trust me when I tell you, Mike McDaniel has no say on what's happening on defense. Vic Fangio reports directly to Chris Grier. Directly. You got two head coaches on this team, but one of them named the head coach. That's what's happening. And Fangio made sure he made that clear in his presser. Well, I report to Chris Grier, and I went to him and told him this is what I need. Ain't no stop it. It's the truth. It's the truth. Flores tried to get Fangio and couldn't while he was a head coach. What are you talking about? Wasn't Fangio a head coach? So stop this. Flores tried to get Fangio. Wasn't he the head coach? I ain't get what y'all talking about. And once again, excuse me, Flores also tried to get Mike McDaniel, but San Francisco blocked it. Flores tried to get Mike McDaniel as the OC, and the 49ers blocked it. Fangio only came to Miami to coach under McDaniel. to coach under him. Y'all need to stop. Y'all is funny to me. To coach under McDaniel. Y'all is funny. Oh my gosh. No one wanted to work with Flores. San Francisco blocked it because McDaniel didn't want to work with Flores. All of these things y'all making up right now to make it make sense. It's okay. It's all right. I get it. I agree with you. How about that? All right. Flores couldn't hire a decent staff. Everybody he hired either quit on him or got canned, except Campbell. Doesn't know anyone outside nor connections. Okay. I still don't understand that logic either, that Flores couldn't hire a decent staff. Once again, y'all think this staff did anything yet? Last year, we won 9 games. What did that staff do? The O-line was trash. Outside of the people we paid money for, what did that staff do last year? This staff, I should say. Outside of the people, our receiving court, we paid money. Y'all need to stop. Please. TD, here's why they hate Flores. If I knew you were this bad, we would have drafted Mac Jones, Brian Flores. I still don't believe Flores said that, but if he did, boy, I ain't gonna lie. That's funny to me. I would have been cussing two out there playing the way he was playing. See, what people don't want to recognize is first 2 years, it ain't like he wasn't leaving opportunities on the field. People want to get mad at Flores because he wasn't playing well, but when you watch the film, there's opportunities everywhere that he misses. Opportunities everywhere. Every week we do film study, wide open people, and he's staring down one person. You wonder why Flores on the sideline cussing him out. Man, y'all need to stop. I get it, though. I get it. I understand. And I don't listen. What y'all need to understand is this. Whether you want to believe me or not, I can care less about Flores. He gone now. He ain't a Dolphin. Good luck in Minnesota. But I ain't going to sit around here and live in delusion to big up somebody else. It's all good, man. Y'all hatred for that man for another man is sad, honestly. What's good, my brother? Showing love. Appreciate you, G Firm. Key to victory. We know who we are. Denver is still trying to find out who they are. We must not let them find that identity in this game. Sure hope not. Take away the deep ball and we chilling tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, do they have a deep ball? Eagles lost to Washington last year. When did they do that? I'm not sure. I'm just trying to figure it out. When Jalen Hurts was hurt, or when Hurts was there, and we're gonna sit here and act like the Eagles didn't have the number 2 defense in the NFL last year. The offense was just trash. 2020 Flores got lucky with 10 interceptions. Okay, he got lucky. All right. 2021, our schedule was a joke, and we had a 7-game losing streak. Half our locker room hated him. Had to go. So Slip and Jimmy, all we have is 1 year so far in the books of Mike McDaniel. And we lucked out with Tyreek's 80% 50-50 deep balls. Also, we had a 7-game losing streak and a 3-game losing streak. Now, the locker room didn't hate him because he really embodies the notion of you can't talk to people like that. So I just don't understand the difference, bro, outside of how he makes you feel. No question, McDaniel makes you feel so much better than Flores. Flores will make you feel like this is your job. Come do your job. Mike McDaniel makes you feel like this is the playground. Let's have some fun, guys. So that is a difference. And if the playground have some fun is going to get the job done, I'm all for it. So if you want to talk about differences between the two, that's the one that matters to me. All that other stuff, I'm sorry. I don't see no difference. I don't see no difference. Flores couldn't win with a backup. Neither could Mike McDaniel. Same thing. To his first 2 years, his had a bottom O-line, bottom 3 rushing attack, and a receivers were last in separation. It's interesting we can say that for Tua, but not Flores. Knowing that we were rebuilding. That's real interesting. But, year 3, those things changed. And now we want to say the new coaches because is the reason. But instead of what we brought in, and then y'all try to flip it and say, well, Flores wouldn't bring in. Y'all stop. Stop. He didn't try to get no weapons. How you know that? How you know he ain't try to go get no weapons? It don't make no sense. Do you know if Kansas City would have paid Tyreek Hill, what would we have done? Do you not realize that we didn't try to go get no weapons? The only reason we went and got Tyreek is because they made him available. Do y'all forget that Cedric Wilson Jr. was supposed to be our number 2 behind Waddle? Do y'all not realize that? Cedric Wilson Jr. was brought in to be the number 2 behind Waddle. Did you even know that? Yes or no in the comment section. Did you know that Cedric Wilson Jr. was brought in to be the number 2 behind Waddle? So miss me with this, he wouldn't go get no weapons. Tyreek Hill became available, and then we went and got him. You done lost your mind. You don't think Flores would have said yeah to it. Now, never mind, because some of y'all going to be like, yeah, he would have turned it down because you hate him so much. I know you're adding context, G-Firm, to why Tua struggled at first, but that same context isn't used with Brian Flores as a head coach. That's all I was pointing out. TD loves capping for a man that tried to tear down our organization. Can you give me that? Well, H, never mind. I ain't responding to you. You just in here rebutting everything anyway, but you won't answer none of the questions. Like, did you know that Cedric Wilson Jr. was brought in to be wide receiver number 2? Did you know that? So you want to continue a conversation with me, H? Answer that first, and then I'll acknowledge your comments. All right. But anyway, yeah, man. Talk about he ain't trying to get no weapons. McDaniel wouldn't get no weapons until Tyreek came available. And it ain't on McDaniel. It's just the way it was. It's hard to find those guys. It really is. It's real hard to find those guys. And you luck out when a team don't want to pay them, and then you got to overpay them just to get them. Now, I used to say we overpaying Tyreek, but the way he flipping this entire offense single-handedly, in my opinion, is definitely worth it. Because I know one thing. It's going to be real interesting when we finally pay our quarterback and Tyreek is no more, and you do have a Waddle, Cedric Wilson type dynamic. It's going to be real interesting to see how this turn out. And I just hope we get a Super Bowl before then so that I can go through those days. I just hope that we get a Super Bowl before the day Tyreek is no longer a Dolphin so that I could bear those days. Unless we figure out a way to bring in another Tyreek type guy. Because boy, oh boy, people don't understand what we have now is a luxury. Most teams could only dream of it. Could only dream of it. If Flo stayed, we would have Watson, not Tyreek. Not true. I think they would have passed on that anyway, because that's the decision they made when Flo was here. They had made that decision at the trade deadline, if you don't remember. So we wouldn't have. Flo didn't want to rebuild. He wanted to mortgage our future and cap for Watson. Tell me I'm lying. You are lying. Because Flores started the rebuild. How can you say he didn't want to rebuild when that's what that's the exact thing he did? He ripped the entire roster apart and started from scratch. That's what you call rebuilding. So, and him wanting to mortgage the future and cap for Watson, there ain't no such thing because we ain't win nothing yet, and we about to have to pay two of the same thing Watson getting anyway. So it ain't mortgaging the cap. And Flores looked at it as, I know Tua's weaknesses, and I want a quarterback who don't have those weaknesses. So he wanted to take a chance on making a trade. And y'all act like it was Flores and Watson. It was our own owner and general manager and Tom Brady. Like, y'all don't care about that, huh? Because Flores was the one that didn't want to get involved with the Tom Brady situation. So let's talk about the two culprits who were involved in the Tom Brady situation. But they've been forgiven because they got Tyreek. Oh my gosh. Y'all act like this is about Flores and Watson. What happened to the people who wanted Tom Brady? It couldn't have been Flores. He wasn't even willing to meet on the yacht. Man. But he gets a pass because he got Tyreek, right? Oh, remember they were Greer and Ross was getting rid of Tua. They were trying to get Brady in the house. Oh man. Flo never made it to the playoffs, but McDaniel made it his first year. Same difference. Y'all try not to understand that. It was just a matter of the landscape of the AFC at the time. Flores got more wins and still couldn't make it because the way the other teams lined up. Oh, we got a few more. You lying, TD. Flo said out his mouth on I Am Athlete he wanted to win right away. Was never open to a rebuild. Stop. He said he wanted to win right away with the group he had. He didn't want to. The man even literally said out of his own mouth that he didn't want to tank because he wanted to win right away. That's what the narrative was with that I Am Athlete. He don't believe in tanking. He wanted to win right away. So that's what he said out of his own mouth. Don't change the narrative in the context to the conversation. It was about the whole tanking situation. He didn't want to tank. And if he did tank, we wouldn't be talking about Tua anyway. They would have drafted Joe Burrow. As Stephen Ross once again tried to trade all our draft picks to move up in the draft, and Cincinnati said kick rocks. Another case. Come on, bro. You got to do better. You got to do better, homie. We'd have Tom Brady if not for Flo squealing. That's true. That's true. We would have Tom Brady if it wasn't for Flo snitching. We would. Ain't no question about that. I ain't gonna read that. That's crazy. That is what he said. Yeah, I know it's what he said in context of not tanking. Flores a rat or whistleblower? Is Flores a rat or whistleblower? Listen, if I was in Flores' position, I would have did the same thing because I know how the game is played in the NFL. I know how the game is played in the NFL. You're not going to scapegoat me. See what a lot of people, at the end of the day, I'm one of the last people that makes anything racial, right? But what a lot of people, African Americans, do, they're very cautious on what they do. So when you ask them to do something wrong, they could play ball, but if they're caught, it comes down on them 10 times harder. So a lot of them don't do that. And that's exactly what he did. He said, "No, I ain't with that. I ain't getting involved in that." Because when we get caught, it's going to be 10 times harder on me. It's going to ruin my entire future. It's that simple. He could have played right along. We might have had Brady, might have did something special, maybe not. And bygones would be bygones, right? We wouldn't have McDaniel today. And anybody complaining about him ratting or whatever, then certainly ain't the Tua people, because they probably happy that he went through all this, because it was the quickest way for him to get out of here. Man, calling the man a scumbag, Flores, really hurts y'all guys' hearts. It's sad. People are that invested in the Tua situation to where they literally hate that man. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Y'all hating another grown man for another grown man. Something wrong with that in my eyes. Just my opinion. You can have your opinion about him, but if you really think about the reasoning of why you hate him, as long as it's just your own personal, he did, but hating him for another man, something wrong. He got fired and threw Dolphins under the bus, but most people would have because Dolphins was using him as scapegoat. Absolutely. I would have threw us further under the bus. I would have added lies to it to make it even worse. You're going to ask me to do this, and this, and then whenever I refuse, I get on the bad side. Man, I would have did the same thing. Ain't a thing Flores didn't do that I wouldn't have did. I would have did the same thing. That's simple. They say a lot. I know. Nah, I'm hating because he snitched and cost us picks. Wow. Are you mad that they put us in that position to begin with? Are you mad that they tried to tamper, period, anyway? Or was that okay to you? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Are you mad at Stephen Ross and Chris Greer and them for trying to do it in the first place? Or are you just mad that Flores snitched and helped us get caught doing it? Like, or both? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Just curious at the people who are saying that. It's very interesting. No, I ain't asked if you mad they tried to get Brady. Are you mad that they cheated? They wanted to cheat. They did cheat because they set it up, but it didn't. But Flores wasn't there. Are you mad that they cheated and tried to put that man in it? See, that's a piece that nobody talking about. They asked him to do wrong. And then when they fire him, and he tells that what they asked him to do, y'all more mad at him than the point that they were trying to do it anyway. I get it. I get it. At the end of the day, let's talk about the now. Dolphins ready to roll. Tua looking a whole lot better. Hoping that he can keep it up at a high level, break through anything. McDaniel's doing a good job, in my opinion. Like I said earlier, I really like McDaniel. I think that he's discovered something and continues to discover things, offensively at least. And I just hope that we can have a long season of great success like this, man. And if we don't, he's a fraud. It's all the same as always. It is what it is. TD stop the nonsense. Everyone tampers. So everyone asks the head coach to do so as well, right? Okay. I know. But some people end up getting punishments greater than others. And some people have to look out for themselves and make sure that they come out of the dirt clean. It's funny how society is now. Everybody does it though. Okay. Say that when you get caught, huh? Say it when you get caught. Let me ask you a question. If Flores would have went along with it and we would have got caught anyway, would he even be coaching in the NFL right now? At all? Yes or no in the comment section. Would he be coaching in the NFL at all right now? Please, yes or no in the comment section. Please. As I thought, he wouldn't be. He wouldn't be. And we would care less. We move right along and could care less. Oh, boy. He'd be our head coach. Well, some of y'all wouldn't have wanted that anyway, right? Some of y'all despise that anyway. So you should be happy. Some of y'all should be saying, I'm glad Flores didn't tamper. I'm glad he did all of that. Because now it led us to get McDaniel. So you should be happy anyway. Sometimes you gotta treat the kids like the kids. There you go. I got Tyreek and Raheem starting on my fantasy. I don't know about the Tyreek one, but Raheem, I like that one. Tyreek should eat, but they probably going to put some extra attention on him, especially with us not having Waddle. Yeah. Highly likely. Highly likely. We should be living in the now. Not woulda, coulda, shoulda in the past. Let's go. We all going Kevin Lee. We just answering people questions and responding to them. Chosen one will start. All right. Chosen Roby in the house, y'all. Denver strength is their secondary. I think they missing a few guys, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to check it out. They might be missing a few guys. Barrios about to step up. Stop. Berrios ain't got no more than what he's already given us, and that's good enough. Asking him to step up more. Let's see how this goes. Berrios is a great number 3 and number 4, and when his number's called, he deliver. Putting him in a number 1 and number 2 is the problem. Missing a safety and linebacker. Well, that safety is a pretty darn good safety. Am I right? So that's gonna hurt Denver big time. Big time. So who do you think is stepping up? The run game? It has to be the run game. It has to be the run game. See, here's what some of y'all don't realize. Tyreek and Waddle don't play the whole game. They run freaking routes. And as you notice, we use a lot of plays to get downfield, so they work hard. Somebody put this stat up today. They said we run like 80 plays or whatever. 19 of them, Waddle wasn't on the field. So obviously he rests about 10 snaps a game. Now the guys we got now starting for him, they probably gonna rest about 15 snaps a game because they not Waddle. And when Waddle goes out the game, those guys have putting up in those 19 about 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions when Waddle's not on the field. That's about 10 yards per, right? But now what y'all have to realize is these guys are going to play the primary role for Waddle, which is less production. They're not as good, right? And then on top of that, when they go out, the depth is further down the depth chart. So the guys further down the depth chart, you know, as a comment, all those guys, are they going to make plays like Berrios and them? Not likely. So that's how you have to look at it. You're getting a less caliber starter, plus the backup now that will usually relieve them is less caliber than what we've had in the backup before. That's how that works. And another thing, people saying, oh, well, Chosen's going to take his spot. No, Chosen was just moving up to the active roster for depth. He's not even number 6 on our roster. He's number 7. So it'll be interesting to see who and where they line up people that usually play for Waddle. It's going to be a tough, y'all. I'm telling y'all. But we're going to be fine. I think McDaniel going to scheme it up to where we'll be just fine. We'll get another W, then we'll go to Buffalo. That right there will be everything. We win that game. Ain't nobody, it's going to be hard to stop us. But I'm telling you now, we lose to Denver. I'm not picking us to beat Buffalo. If we lose to Denver this freaking week at home, I am not picking us to win against Buffalo. We are either going to be 2-2 or 4-0. I'm telling y'all. That's how it's going to go right now. We're going to be 2-2 or 4-0 in 8 days. And we bet not be 2-2. Everything changes. Everything flips. Good thing for us. After that 2-2, if that was to happen, which it ain't, it bet not. After that 2-2, we get our easy stretch, in my opinion, at least. We get our Giants, and I think it'll be easy because we'll be back healthy. We get the Panthers, easy. And then you go 4-2 or 6-0. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's the point that I'm making. Starting 6-0 is a real possibility if we win tomorrow. but you can't go 2-2 and then go 4-2, which is it still looks good, but the problem is now we start having sporadic moments. Now you play the Eagles. Now you got to play the Patriots again, and they want to play spoiler. And I'm telling you, they definitely gonna have a better game plan. We ran ours the way we run ours. Outside of Connor Williams, he just got to be better. Then you play the Chiefs. Then you ease up with the Raiders, and then you got the Jets. Then you got that Commanders, which is just like the Denver game, but Commanders got a better defense. And shockingly, Sam Howell playing great football. Then Tennessee, which we should win. Their defense is still creative and plays very well, but I think our defense will do enough against Ryan Tannehill. If we could stop the run, though, when you think of it, because I just can't get over the Chargers game, how they ran the ball on us. And I'm just shocked that the Patriots, who, even though they were banged up on the O-line, didn't make a consistent effort doing it. So if we could stop the run of Tennessee, which we should, but, you know. Then you play the Jets again. It's a whole bunch of back and forth in that middle there of good teams, bad teams, good teams, okay teams, good teams, you know. But then when you get to that end, them last 3 games, you better hope that you already got 11 victories. You better hope you already got 10 or 11 victories you get to them last 3 games. Period. When we get to them last 3 games, the Miami Dolphins better have 10 or 11 wins. Because if we don't, we in trouble. If we don't, we in trouble. You better not have 8 wins and you got to play the Cowboys, Ravens, and Buffalo and got to win out. You better not have 9 wins and got to play the Cowboys, Ravens, and Buffalo. Unless the rest of the AFC is weak like it was last year. And I don't know about that this year. I think this is the year that 10 will not get you in. Ten won't get you in. But it might. You never know. It just depends if these teams keep beating each other up. Them last 3 games, that's tough. It don't matter that we at home. Cowboys on Christmas Eve, it don't matter that we home. Ravens on the road, you know they want their revenge. And we go back home to Buffalo to end the season. You better hope it ain't on the line for them either. The Miami Dolphins got to get out to the big start now. 6-0 needs to be the mentality. 6-0 got to be the mentality. And what I like about the last 2 wins is the fact that Armstead hasn't played. Jaylen Phillips missed the game. We've had some injuries, but we've still survived. So if we can keep that up, because I'm telling you, I just personally feel like with the history of this team, it's not if, it's when we going to really miss somebody on the field. And I hope it don't start tomorrow with Waddle versus Denver. We'll be fine, though. We will be fine. But we definitely got to take care of business, man. 6-0 needs to be our goal. 6-0. 6-0 got to be our goal. because we can. Which is just the next 2 weeks, in my opinion. Ain't no way in this world the Panthers gonna beat us. That ain't happening. I think teams will not be as good as we think, and teams will beat each other up. 10 will get you in. I hope so. I mean, you might be right. You might be right, but I don't want to take that to chance. Especially if that 10th win is week 17. No, I don't want to take that to chance. I don't. But yeah, I'm finna get up out of here, man. Get me some rest. Got a long day tomorrow. My day starts early. I got my Bleacher Report appearances. Got the pregame show over here on TD Fans Talk. Then we got the game. Then I got the Bleacher Report post game. Then I got my post game. I'm not even gonna stream tomorrow night game. I'm gonna give me some rest because I got a busy week this week coming up. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Listen, when we debate, go back and forth and argue, it ain't nothing personal, y'all. I respect everybody. That's what makes the show, all the back and forth banter. I appreciate y'all. All right, I'm finna get some rest. Even is Bleacher Report tomorrow morning. Yeah, 11:30, I believe. I have the inactives. I do the inactive show. Talk about all the players that's not playing, who's inactive. 11:30 tomorrow. So around 12:15, I'll do my pregame show until about 12:50. Then we'll do the game at 1. All right. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. And hey, we just hit 25,900 subs. We almost at 26K. It'll probably happen within the next week or two. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. See you soon. Peace. I'm out.